resonate with all of you without me having to explain them to you. The first one is titled My Father. This is a nutshell of what my father used to be growing up and what he is right now. When you go home, write one for your father. It was inspired by Seamus Heaney, who wrote a poem about his father, and I keep saying age is a cruel thing. Seamus Heaney said as he was plowing, when his dad was plowing when he was younger, Seamus Heaney would run alongside him. But now, it is he who stumbles as I walk along with the plow. The father now stumbles. He's now the child. My father used to hold his Maasai whip in a tight grip, his scathing eyes scaring our little souls into unwavering obedience. He kept his arms close to his chest and spoke with an extended finger. His head tilted slightly to his left, his shoulders rocking from side to side. He walked days and sometimes nights, and every so often brought home a small package in his hands, a simple grin plastered on his serious face. 35 years on, and this is what breaks my heart, 35 years on, and now my father smiles with his eyes, his once youthful face a haven of wrinkles, his intimidating demeanor replaced by a tiny shell. He hugs us when we arrive after months and sometimes years of being away, and tells us stories of his life in Tarbo and his usual daily chores of cow keeping. He makes us feel at home, and he laughs when we tell of our journeys around the world, his sharp eyes now teary and proud. Although he still holds his arms across his chest and speaks with an extended finger, his head tilted slightly to his left, his shoulders rocking from side to side. The next one is a reflection of women in my village. It singles out a single woman, and it's titled The Woman in a White Dress. When you go to the villages, that's what women wear because it's their Sunday best. That's where they go to church every Sunday dressed like that. The woman in the white dress sings emphatically in religious spaces, her hair covered in a white scarf, her body moving sideways to the beat of the church drums. The woman in a white dress anticipates Sunday services and sermons, her tithe donations rising steadily, her church offering held firmly in a clasped hand. She's quick to walk miles to reach her eager flock up in the rugged mountains, her swollen feet and cracked heels, a testament to her undying devotion. But underneath this woman's steadfastness lie deep scars of unfulfilled dreams, lost desires, and untold regret. She laughs with her mouth wide open, her perfectly aligned white teeth illuminating her cold, dark features to conceal the sadness that consumes her soul and the frown that lines her youthful face. A lot of these women are younger than they look, but life has been so cruel to them that the only place they find solace in is the church. And they do it devotedly. They struggle up in the rugged mountains just to go and give something to God, an imaginary friend who does not exist, to validate their being here on earth. These are the vast majority of women who live here in Kenya. To go in line with that theme is a poem titled Death. This one is a dedication to somebody very special, my grandmother. These are the questions that we asked ourselves when my grandmother suddenly left us with so much regret and so much sorrow. We asked ourselves, what happens to a loved one when she dies? Does her body rot in the ground and become fodder for the unsuspecting earth? Or is she consumed by maggots with a shameless appetite? Does her spirit fly off to the resting place, a land of milk and honey, and sit beside the Father she worshipped for 60 years? Or does she become a guardian angel who appears in dreams with a light bulb and puts her hand on her loved one's shoulders? Or does she wander off into the strange land alone, loitering, lost? I hope it's not the latter. I hope that her spirit is in a resting place, in a land of milk and honey, and she sits beside the Father she worshipped for 50 years, 60 years. These are our women in the villages. This is their life. So they deserve something when they leave this earth. Call me delusional, but that's what I hope happens to these women. At the base of the 80-foot waterfall is where the river says goodbye. As canyoners trek through banana plantations of Tamira with tired limbs and disheveled heads. Petals of paradise open to spew nectar to hummingbirds and bluebirds as unsuspecting vines set a trap for tired feet. From slippery surfaces, bruised knees, and quick rapids, they will soon return home because the river has said goodbye. When the river says goodbye, that's where we leave. That's where we turn around and go to where we were meant to go. Sometimes I come rushing home in the rain with loud thunder rumbling in the distance and lightning that reminds me of the exotic tales of Maracaibo. Sometimes it is sunny and I walk with my eyes squinting in the sun, a quiet smile plastered behind my black mask because COVID is here. Sometimes when I get home, I am greeted at the door by an enthusiastic lover who always wants to seize the moment. Sometimes the wind blows gently and my cream-colored curtains blush in the breeze, swaying slightly to the sound of the rattling leaves. Sometimes the blue tannages fly about on the windowsill, occupying the miller table, while yellow macaws cackle loudly to announce that they are here. Either way, the skittish blue birds must fly away because the macaws are coming. They will return when they are not here. The next poem I'm going to read talks about something I witnessed where I live. The political situation is so bad that these people have to rummage through filthy bins for a meal. The city is filled with those who ferret through filthy bins and faced by the stench that reeks from rotten tomatoes, thrown away meats, and flying cockroaches. The city is filled with abandoned furniture, menacing cats who meow and pounce to protect their territory. The city is filled with rummages from all sorts of backgrounds trying to put a meal in their tummies while the rich sit behind glass doors and glass walls and watch from a distance. I'm not big on writing poems about love, but I squeezed one in there. It's not one of those things that really inspires me. I'm more inspired by things about nature, things about life and living. But I had a question for those people who love love. What happens? What when? What when the soul weeps and a man leaves? Fights abound, nasty words leak. What when a man counts his dollars, forgets Valentine's days and birthday gifts? What when the pictures on the wall tell of bliss in magical places and beautiful islands of Zanzibar and the wildebeest of the Masai Mara? What when these moments of bliss are clouded with misery, turning our eager adventures into forlorn ventures? What when love dies and a man is left to weep and hope sinks with the loud tick of the clock on the bare, rugged, white walls? I will finish this reading off with the poem The Author's Feet, which gives the little chapbook its title. The author stretches her legs as he gently rubs on her feet. His hands move up and down her toes like those of a man verily strumming a guitar. No need to tell that the author has had a long day and her feet have borne the brunt of the summer's weeks. Nevertheless, the author sits still, watching his hands move in a straight and steady rhythm. Thank you for listening.